How's your old Nickelback concert? The boys still got it. Didn't think they ever had it. Hell yeah, they had it. They got some good songs. Well, I don't know. That was before my time.
Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Talking about Nickelback. We love Nickelback on this show.
I like how Clint says it was before my time.
Yeah.
It's old.
Clint's old.
Nickelback is like right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Before we get talking too much, we have a guest. I was really excited. Cole Swindell's here with us today.
What's up, man?
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
coming by.
Hey, glad to be in town and appreciate y'all having me. A big fan, so thanks for letting me hang.
Cork Swindell. Did you tell him what happened
Yeah.
with your autocorrect?
Oh, yeah,
When you
so-
text us?
Cork.
I was like, we were trying to figure out a guest for this week, and I was like, hey, I think Cole Swindell's going to be in town. And put your name as Cork.
Cork.
It
Like, well, we can have
autocorrected.
Cork Swindell.
I almost replied, is Cork Sammy's brother or something like that? You know, Sammy Swindell?
Sammy, maybe. I don't know. I
Yeah.
go by either one. So
Do you go by either one, Cork or
yeah,
Cole,
I'm
or
sure
Cork
some
or
people
Cole?
are probably like, I'm fine with either. Yeah,
Mr. Colden. Okay.
that's right.
But yeah, I was wondering, Swindell, that's a interesting name. Sammy Swindell is a great dirt racer.
Yeah,
People
no.
ask you if you're related?
Yeah, I have. I think there's a couple of people in the racing world with that last name, but to my knowledge, I'm not kin to them. So, but who knows? I'm gonna be taking a little ride later. We'll talk about that. So.
Yeah, yeah.
I might be in the racing world here
Oh,
soon.
we'll talk about it right now.
I was
coming
going
up.
to ask. When I found out you were coming on, I was
Yeah.
going to be like, has Ryan taken you for a ride along yet?
Never. This is the first
First
day. So
time.
what you think?
Yeah, so we after this, we're going to Charlotte Motor Speedway, Cole and I, and I learned like yesterday or 2 days ago that it's an actual like 2-seater petty driving experience car.
God.
I thought it was just gonna be a Mustang.
I didn't sleep at all last night. So I'm excited though. It's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be good. We're gonna run the wall. We're gonna run the top.
Ride-alongs
And-
are scarier than
That's what you said. Yeah.
because
So that's.
the cars aren't designed for a passenger. So the passenger is like inches from the
I
wall.
wish it was a 4-seater, so I'd make y'all go with me.
Oh,
So,
I've been not a ride-along,
been-
but I've done a pace car ride with Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ended well. It ended fine.
It ended fine.
I got in trouble for it though.
Well, you got in trouble a couple of times. Remember,
Only
you
once.
were black flagged, and they were like, "You're lucky we're letting you do this."
Oh, that's
Blaney
true.
got black.
Yeah.
Man, doesn't sound like you, man.
That's hard sarcasm right there. Well,
It'll
we're
be
gonna,
a good time.
We're gonna have a fun time.
He'll make
Hopefully-
it worth your while.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Like I said, it's gonna be different. I'm a big fan watching on TV in person, but I've never actually been in there, so I think I'm gonna have a whole new respect for it.
You're gonna have a whole nother perspective than I have ever had. I've never
Right.
sat in the right seat of a ride-along car before.
Me neither. Right
Yours
against
should
the wall.
Flip flop after.
Yeah, he wouldn't
Yeah.
Ride with me. I wouldn't do that
I'd
to
do
you.
it.
No.
I would ride in the ride. I'd trust you. Just put your hand out the window and you can trust me.
I think that'll end well. Yeah.
It'll end
That'd be
fine.
great.
The good thing, I get to take a few laps in it before Cole gets in it. So if
Oh,
it's
Just
nice
to
of
make sure
you.
to get the kinks out.
just, we're gonna work on it a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if that made me feel better. I'm just gonna make sure it's not gonna fall apart on us. I'm gonna put you in the wall. So
Now, how many laps are you going?
So in my email it says 425, 4-5.
Okay.
And I might just keep going and be like, "Oh, I thought you meant 45."
that is, I'm not going. I'm gonna try to make 4. So
It'll be
How
like-
much
it'll
fuel
be
do they
like
put in
when-
the petty cars?
I don't. It'll be like when Petty was out for the
Darlington?
The Darlington,
Yeah.
and he just didn't come off the
Yeah.
track.
Like, no, I'm gonna keep going, man. Y'all good?
Yeah, we'll do a full fuel run.
yeah, that'll
Get
be.
some tire wear.
Do they
It
ever
is Charlotte.
do ride-alongs where there's multiple cars, almost like racing?
Yeah, I've seen.
Because I don't think I've seen that.
Let's
That would
ask
be
him today.
That would be scarier.
Put
to
y'all
me.
2 against us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get out
There
there.
is the NASCAR racing experience, the NASCAR experience itself, where you can race, and there are spotters, I believe, that tell you, that kind of give you positions.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
I hope we're doing that today.
I may be lying about that, but I believe I read it somewhere on the internet.
Maybe dreamt about.
I've seen them racing around. I don't think they like super.
It's not
really
race,
but
It's not race.
I think there's an instructor in front, and then
Yeah.
like the people behind just
and there's
follow.
somebody. All right, you got one on your outside.
Well,
Very high.
my thought was different. You have like 4 cars, and there's a driver in each car, and then there's a passenger in each car.
Oh,
so it's
that
like
wouldn't be
you
good.
and Brad and Joey and Paul,
Yeah,
and you're all out there
With
semi-racing with passengers.
that'd be pretty fun. That'd be really cool, actually.
Just
Cool
for like
idea.
a shoot up, like a 10-lap shoot up.
It's the All-Star race. They should make that the
Yeah.
All-Star race.
yeah, with the fans. Yeah,
Yeah.
just up close and personal.
I got you. Blindfold the drivers, have the spotter in the passenger seat, and then you have
Oh.
to drive the track blindfolded with the spotter. Speed limit of maybe 35.
I don't know about that. That'd be you got to limit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the speed
for
limit
sure.
has to be.
Yeah.
I've
way
seen
low.
so races at like Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem. They'll do like chain races to where the front car has the gas and the rear car has the brakes. So you kind of have to be in sync.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you ever watch
awesome.
the old Top Gear show where they had the double-decker races, where the car on top had the steering and the car on the bottom had the brake and gas?
That'd be pretty neat, though.
Yeah.
You gotta be in sync with your fellow co-driver.
So how are you gonna retaliate? You're getting in the car. Are you gonna drag him on stage and make him sing at some point?
You know what? That is a great
I
idea.
think you should.
Full set.
He dabbles in the singing.
I know. No, I know. That's what it's going to be like. Me getting in a car with him is going to be like him getting on the stage. You know, I get in front of a crowd and sing. He drives in front of a crowd. So I don't know, man. It's going to be different stepping in somebody else's world. But I look forward to hopefully y'all coming out to a show soon. You're always welcome. Any of your fans and all of your fans are always welcome. So y'all come out.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are in the middle of your Reason to Drink tour right now.
Yeah, we're be in North Carolina 2 nights this weekend, and then Columbia, South Carolina. So I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I had a thought, and then my face just went.
You forgot it?
Yeah.
Forgot your thought?
It's fine.
Did you, what did we have?
We had you on the pole in Vegas.
How about that?
I was sitting on poles in Vegas.
Hey.
Yes.
A lot of that going on.
Poles in Vegas, that's
the peppermint elephant.
2 different
Peppermint
things.
elephant. Yeah.
Great ham steak.
Great ham steaks? Yeah. Milk steak. Got good milk
No,
steak
thank
out
you.
there.
A dry milk toast.
Yeah, Vegas was interesting. You know, we sat on the pole there and run decent, but race was kind of domination by the
I was
4 car.
surprised.
Yeah, I didn't. I was waiting on y'all to
I was
get up
trying.
there. You know, I know you were, but you should have seen us watch it. I mean, we like to, on the bus rides home, we're usually riding for the past couple of weeks, been a long ride home on Sunday, so we've been able to watch Daytona. I wish you could have
that's
seen.
fun. Yeah.
I thought I had a video on my phone. I was going to make you watch it of me and my buddies screaming at the TV towards the end when you were up there, man. It was that was intense. I wish I could have. I actually don't wish I could have been riding with you, but just to know what that feels like, I can't imagine what that's like, the adrenaline. So it's been fun watching.
Yeah, I was super surprised Harvick dominated as much as
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, they did a good job, but we'll move on.
We'll move on. Yeah.
So
another place where he's good.
yeah, you might go off and Chuck, put your phone away.
The last
Sorry.
couple of years.
Your phone's up.
Yeah, but
Last week you got a call.
No, it was me.
It was you that got
From
a call. Yeah, there was
Philadelphia.
somebody at your door last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was. So
Oh
I
yeah.
get
What kind of
Whoa.
package did you get?
So so the way my house is, my doorbell has a camera on it. And so, like, if there's motion in front of it or someone presses the doorbell, I get something on my phone. And if I'm quick enough, I can watch a live video and see if the person's still there. So it was just the FedEx guy dropping off something. But I don't know. It was something I had to sign for. And so they tried 3 times, and I wasn't there. So, like,
You still
it's
haven't picked
sitting
it
at-
up?
No, I have no idea where it is.
Oh.
So it probably got sent back. Probably something really important, but I didn't order anything.
We're
So I
sitting
don't
at like the FedEx depot, just
know.
waiting.
Or the guy just took it home
Yeah.
with them.
Which we had a fan tweet us. You know how we asked what you would do if you were a delivery guy delivering to somebody famous. Somebody who was it that they
Was an F1 driver.
yeah.
Oh, it was Alexander Rossi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And former Indy 500 champion.
And they took a photo.
Yeah, a pizza guy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking last week of, like, you know, pizza guys, they deliver to, like, these Hollywood stars. Like,
Right.
Do they like
Do they freak out if
do
they
the
like
stars
knock
come to
on
the door, or like, I mean, you got to know if you're rolling up to a
See
huge
somebody-
mansion,
Yeah, and the last name. I mean,
or if they get a picture or like don't even acknowledge it. They're like, oh yeah, here, whatever, and
Here's
then maybe
pizza.
the guy thinks they're cool and orders from him a lot. I don't know.
It was Zach
Who
Nutter at Zach Nutter 53, and he
Wait,
said
his last
when
name is Nutter? Or
yeah,
what
it
do you
says
think
Nutter. It says Nutter. Zach Nutter. When Blaney, Kim, Coon, and Chuck Bush asked what delivery drivers do when they meet a famous person, you get a selfie with freaking Alexander Rossi
Nice.
and try to hold it together.
Oh,
And then
That
a
was
couple of
pretty cool.
emojis of like the red cheek face and then the starry eyes.
oh, he was blushing.
Yeah,
Oh, he liked Alexander.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fan.
The fact that the FedEx guy knows who you are, yeah, man. Hey,
Yeah,
good,
I mean,
good deal.
he might.
The mailman that goes around Davidson, one time I saw he was in a Kyle Larson shirt.
Like the
Mm.
mail, like
The mailman.
while delivering mail.
Yes.
Oh wow, hoping he would deliver to Kyle Larson.
How
one
funny
day.
would that be?
That'd be really really cool. Actually.
Although the mail people know where you like your name's on it.
Isn't
they
that,
technically know.
Isn't that creepy to you? I have something to. This brought up a topic of mine. Going back to knowing, you know where people live. Security people, when they install security systems into your house,
Ooh.
sketches me out because then they know your code.
And they know where all the cameras
I
are.
have cameras in my house. They could be watching me.
They are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's sketchy to me.
That is pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the mailman knows if
A lot
you have
about you.
If
Yeah.
you have a famous person in your neighborhood, they know.
Have you ever had any crazy fan stories, Cole? Any fans do weird things when they deliver your mail, or
Not yet. I actually, that's really random. I was texting Ryan the other day. I just got some like vintage T-shirts, and then I got online, and there was one that came in, and it had a note in it that I guess they recognized my name and just said they were glad that it was going back to Nashville. It was some old Travis Tritt
cool.
shirt. Said they were big fans, and it was kind of like, but I mean, at least they seem like cool people, so. Have to get them some tickets. But yeah, that is, you wonder, I mean, it's your mail, and especially where I live, I have neighbors around me, and so I'm sure they see me.
Or
more,
what
but-
if it's somebody has the same name as somebody famous, like Michael Jordan or something, or like even
There's got to be a
weird
bunch
one,
of those, yeah.
and the person thinks they're sending it, so they send like the person orders
Yeah.
something, and they're like,
You're the best
"Oh,
basketball
Michael
player of
Jordan,
all time.
You're my
or-
favorite."
He's a banker, yeah.
Yeah, but the guy's got to know. He's like, I'm going to get this note. And
Yeah.
oh, Michael Bolton, you must be a fan of his whole catalog.
Oh, Office Space.
Yeah,
We did
I
have
didn't
a-
see
we
that
had-
one.
You haven't seen Office Space?
No.
Still?
Sorry.
Really?
No. Dropping the ball.
You like movie buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen it's been a while since I've seen it, but I know it's
Do you have
fun.
a stapler? You need. There's so
Yeah.
many
No,
good
you know,
one-liners.
He would love that. I
No,
feel
you're,
like.
Yeah.
you're referencing a movie I haven't seen, and you keep
Get it?
referencing
Get it?
Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
Do you
Usually,
get
I
it
know
yet? Yeah.
Usually, I know the movie references that
This-
you are, but occasionally I don't. So that's how I feel.
This brings up an idea that we were kind of kicking around. Maybe we try and do a little bit more fan interaction, put up a poll
Mhm.
on either YouTube, because this stuff's going to be on YouTube now.
Oh.
So you can watch the full episodes on YouTube. They generally will come out maybe on Thursday, depending on how quickly I can edit. But Thursday, the podcast will be out on Wednesdays.
Mhm.
So Thursdays, we put up a poll in the comments section on YouTube. Fans vote on, say, a movie that we should watch. And
Okay.
we'll set a certain amount of time, and then we watch the movie, and then we come back and we review it.
Oh, that could be fun.
Maybe like once a month.
Yeah, once a month,
be
we've
good.
got movie review. Yeah.
I watched a really strange documentary last night.
Detail.
It was called Tickled.
Oh.
So it was advertised.
Interesting.
It was advertised to be about.
Here comes the tickle monster.
Oh, Elmo.
It was advertised. It's on HBO. It was advertised to be about competitive endurance tickling,
Mm.
but it turned into it's not exactly about that.
Was that an Olympic event I missed a couple weeks ago?
You would think. And the beginning is so weird. We had to stop it every 5 minutes to be like, do we really want to keep watching this?
You do.
But it turned into almost like a crime drama. That's all I'm going to say. It's so
Crime
weird.
drama.
And then there's a follow-up because there's this guy that's like
Tickle monster?
orchestrating like a tickle ring, kind of like a tickle
This
ring.
is
video.
unbelievable.
The cult. Was there a murder-suicide going on there?
But
And,
there's like harassment involved and
I
like
bet.
And you're
all of
tickling
these
someone.
things.
I'm just thinking
And-
about winning gold and getting
Right?
tickled. That's
There's a
just,
follow-up
and being
though.
proud.
and just,
Yeah.
just toughest out there.
holding
yeah.
the medal up.
Yeah.
Like,
They
how
did a-
long do you have to hold it in? Like,
Yeah,
'cause
but you think you're going to learn all these things, but you don't because you realize quickly that it morphs into this,
a weird,
again, like a
creepy
crime
fetish.
drama.
Yeah.
It's real, though. It's
I
done
know
by
it's
these guys
real, yeah.
out of New Zealand. But then they did a follow-up because they, like, premiered at Sundance probably last year. They did a follow-up just to show you where the, not characters, the
Where
people
are
end
they
up.
now?
Yeah.
Because-
The follow-up's called The Tickle King.
There was, I forgot where it was, but I saw a piece on that a lot of the folks that they interviewed came after the folks that were making the documentary
Oh, yeah.
in like a sort of mob-esque
Yeah.
type way.
Oh,
Like they were
yeah,
trying to
for
strong
sure.
arm the makers of the
It's
documentary.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like blurred face,
Yeah.
fake
Sort of-
voice.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They,
can't
like,
really modulate my
they
voice. I'll
bombard
do it
them.
in
Pretty good.
post. I'll do it in post.
Yeah.
Do it in
Yeah.
post. We can edit that.
Yeah, we'll edit that in. It'll
Yeah.
be good. I've already got some edits to do.
Yeah,
so.
technology's a lie, man.
Yeah. So it was interesting. It was an interesting documentary.
Speaking of interesting documentaries, movie reviews, we just finished Oscar season.
I unplugged my headset and it got really quiet.
Yeah. You couldn't hear. Did you see any of the Oscar-nominated movies?
Oh, yeah, I saw a bunch of them.
Yeah,
Like
like
that.
Dunkirk, Darkest
You
Hour.
saw Dunkirk, didn't you?
Yeah. Dunkirk
That's
was
the
good.
only one I did see.
Yeah.
The
I saw
weird
the
fish man story.
I saw The Shape of Water. That was about the fish.
Didn't that win? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
that
actually
one. I've
really
seen that.
good.
It's weird to me what wins Oscars and trophies nowadays in the movie world.
And Get Out won for best screenwriting.
Yeah.
Which I
which
still didn't see. We almost
still-
watched that last night instead of Tickled.
you should have watched Get Out instead.
Pretty good.
You
Yeah.
should have done the
Serious?
double feature, really.
Tickled or Get Out.
But you go Tickle Monster, then you finish with Get Out. It's a nice evening.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my.
Go
I'll watch
together.
it. I'll watch it maybe this weekend.
Start with one, finish on the other.
Yeah. Get out, then tickle? No. You want to
No.
tickle, then get out.
Yes, that's the order.
Yeah. There were a couple other ones I saw. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We can't
We've
say
lost it
nothing.
already.
How do you deal with these guys? Yeah, this is.
It's like this all
Kim's
the
the
time.
starter of all this stuff.
I'm a
so you're gonna
walking
you're gonna start having
PR
guests.
nightmare.
Yeah, we had maybe 10 or
Okay,
12
cool, yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
But they were mostly drivers.
Oh, okay.
You're
we
our
had,
first musician.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of musicians that I bet would love to be on here. So
Yeah.
that's it's pretty cool that we like all kinds of different music. But
Mhm.
What do
I'm a
you?
big fan
Obviously,
of
you're a country musician, but when you're not performing or listening to country, what do you like to listen to?
I mean, that's
Is
kind of
that
it.
you, are
Unless
you
I'm
just
in the
tried and true? Like,
yeah, no, I mean, that's just what I love. That's what I've always loved. But I also, I mean, if I'm in the gym or wherever, I mean, I listen
yeah.
to
Like,
the
what
pop
would you
stuff, whatever,
run
just
to or?
whatever the hot stuff is right now, just to when I'm in the gym. But I like listening to new stuff too. That I'm just trying to think of something new that I've heard lately. I need to get some suggestions from Blaney because he knows a lot of
He's on the cusp of.
he knows all kinds of music. So that's I don't know, that's cool to me. So.
I heard you guys took Chase to
a metal show.
Yeah,
Did you?
Yeah, we
Asking Alexandria.
it was after qualifying, and then this band called Asking Alexandria, who's from England, was playing, and it was the final show of their tour in Vegas. They were playing at the House of Blues, and me and Bubba went
Yeah.
because we know those guys pretty well for a few years, and I was staying in Chase's motorhome. I'm like, man, come to this concert with us. He's like, I don't know. I said, I promise, give it a shot.
Yeah.
You might not hate it. Like, okay. So he comes, and like the first 3 or 4 songs they play are just absolute like ragers.
Yeah.
Like, the heaviest stuff.
I love it.
And
Was he
he's-
just like standing there with
he's
like
standing there
with his
like,
hands?
like not knowing what to do, and then they actually started playing a few acoustic songs, and he was like, oh damn, that guy was really good. And then Sunday he was like, what was the name of that song that they played there?
Oh,
See?
okay.
I said, I got you.
Well, you got to
hooked on it.
take me to a show. I can appreciate, like I said, when you're in
Yeah.
the music business. Anybody that has the guts to write music, get up there and do that for a living. I'm gonna support them. So
I'm gonna take you to a few.
You
a
should,
few metal shows and
Yeah.
see what you think about it.
there we go.
I got a question about your start in music.
Yeah.
I did some Googling.
Yeah.
So, get a little bit of research for this. And it said that when you go on stage now, you still get nervous.
I mean, there's just always just right before before the
Like, are
the
you
music
nervous you're gonna
stops
like
and
forget lyrics or you're?
it just kind of depends. I mean, I've just started headlining my own tour, and usually the past 4 years we've been on some huge tours, but we've been the opening act, and there's some pressure in that, but not like having your own tour. And if things don't go right, it's kind of all my fault now. So it's just a little bit of anxiety right before I go out there, but then once you get through that first verse or whatever it is, it's kind of
especially
you
if
just
the
locked
crowd's
in.
like feeling it.
And that's
like,
what you really do feed off the crowd. I mean, it is crazy what we're going to go out there and put on pretty much, the same show and try to keep them entertained. But the crowd really, I mean, you feed off of that. So the crowd makes a huge difference. So.
That's what I've always kind of noticed with musicians. You're playing and the crowd is like 5 feet from you.
Yeah.
Between us, our crowd, we can never really hear them.
Exactly.
like while you're
when we're
performing.
racing.
Yeah.
It's all kind of before. So
Never thought about
that's
that.
always
yeah.
been a little bit different and kind of neat that I have been noticing over the
Well, no,
past
we're
few
screaming.
years.
I'm yelling. So even though you can't hear me.
When you got your start writing, and you mentioned that
Mhm.
when you support anyone who'll go out there and just write their own stuff
Yeah.
and put them out there. What is it about that? Like, just you're putting yourself out there.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, and that's one thing I've learned. Everybody's not gonna love everything you put out there, and that's that's just how it is as music. Everybody's got their own opinions, but just I think the way music has always been a part of my life, what it's meant to me, and being able to write songs that help other people. It's pretty crazy. I've had fun songs, but I've had songs like "You Should Be Here" that I still hear stories every single night that, and knowing that I've written something that has touched somebody is a pretty crazy feeling because I've just always been a, country music fan, sports fan. So it's crazy getting to do what I love for a living.
What is a professional musician? What's their go-to? Like for you, what's your go-to karaoke song? So if you're like, if you
Oh,
and
man.
Ryan are out drinking, you're like, let's
That's
go to a
good-
karaoke bar.
See, is that
Like,
what we're doing
what
later? I don't know. I don't,
We
Like
might be
what
doing
does
that.
In the
somebody
car
who sings
singing karaoke.
professionally choose as their karaoke song?
What is it?
I'm not. No, I'm not. Oh, I
Like,
thought
do you have
meant,
a go-to karaoke song?
Yeah, I think "Carrying Your Love with Me," George Strait is one of my favorites. But I don't have a really go-to. I'll let him pick me something random. Maybe I don't know.
Well,
as long
you
as I
can-
get to pick his.
You can sing pretty much anything. So whatever I'm going to try to pick up. something hard
I want
for
you
you.
to,
Duhast?
I want you to
And,
get a yes.
Duhast.
Wow, I hadn't heard that in a minute, but
That's
I'm
been
gonna
a
get you
long time.
doing some rager up
What's
there.
it?
So
Wednesday night. Wednesday night. Hell, it's
Oh, yeah, it's
karaoke
Wednesday.
night at Howl at the Moon tonight.
no, it is not.
Yes, it is.
That is not
Really?
good.
It is.
It is good.
We might be visiting.
I got a
there.
show in Asheville tomorrow. I got to make it. So
Oh, I love Asheville.
I fly to Phoenix, so we're in the. We're
yeah,
Yeah.
we got to get
we're gonna
you out
make
of here
it.
to go to work.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it's a busy couple of weeks coming up. Got Phoenix, then
Oh,
LA.
is this where you stay out here this time?
Yeah, so we'll do Phoenix, and then Sunday after the race, I'll drive to Los Angeles.
Which,
And,
by the way, did you see where Bubba's out there? Like, he stayed out there with Amanda, and they're glamping.
What is glamping?
It's called glamping.
glamour camping.
Like glamorous camping. Yeah, where it's like
Yeah.
you're not roughing it.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
basically like a nice enough tent that you would live there.
It's like a hotel room, but it's just
Yeah.
a tent
And the-
outside.
oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
it's awesome. I forget where they were.
I think Mount Zion or
Zion.
Zion
Yeah,
National Forest, like in Utah.
Yeah.
Pictures were
it
awesome.
looked really cool.
I
They
saw
stayed there 2 days ago, and they loved it so much they ended up staying another day.
Oh wow.
And I have to do that next year. But no, I'll stay in LA and do some things for me, which I'm excited about, and then some stuff for NASCAR, and then we
Yeah.
go to Montana. So
and
then
we've got there's a Periscope coming, a live Periscope event next Wednesday, I
Mhm.
believe.
Mhm.
It'll take place
Mm.
of the recorded version of this podcast, so we'll all be
So it's
in
basically
LA.
a live podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna be live on the internet on Periscope.
we got some pretty cool guests too.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them as well. So we're branching out.
Yeah,
We
so
are.
so stay logged on to all of our Twitter accounts for more information. You got at Blaney, you got at Kimmy Coon,
Mhm.
and at the Chuck Bush, and we'll tease
I
some
think
of that
you
information.
need to say yours again because people always forget what your Twitter handle. They're like, and that other guy.
And the other
I
guy.
don't know his Twitter handle.
Well, they
The-
forget with the
Because I had so many people respond to last week's podcast because of the poop knife discussion, and they would tag you, and you weren't here for this discussion.
I
The
missed
machete.
the-
You missed that?
The machete. Apparently, some people take very large dumps, and they need something to make it flushable because it's so large it doesn't go down.
Does it have a knife?
So they have a poop knife. But we had people respond because we asked, like, do any listeners have a poop knife? And people responded. They're like, we don't use a knife. We use a ruler. We use this, that.
latex gloves.
I had one person say, I keep a box of latex. I don't know why. Maybe he works in the food industry or
He's probably a
keeps.
doctor.
He said,
That's
I
probably
don't
what he
know.
does. Yeah.
I don't know if it's true, but he said he keeps a box of latex gloves, picks it up, and flushes the glove down.
Mm. That's
They're
disgusting.
Yeah.
They're
I get
poop
it.
mittens.
Yeah.
Mittens.
I love that. I
I
love
had somebody that works in the industry
Is your making too much noise?
text me and
Mittens.
they've had an issue.
I love the like one
Funny.
of my favorites.
That's pretty good.
That's like for elephants. That's a big
Hey, here's the
Blade.
thing. 25 minutes in, and we're talking about
Well,
Kim
I had-
Coon, ladies and gentlemen. Kim Coon.
I had to recognize the people that were brave enough to go on Twitter and respond.
You were the biggest talker on this entire podcast.
Podcast.
I'm just marking that we're 25 minutes in, so when I have to go back and sanitize the audio for YouTube, I know
Oh,
where
I
to
forgot.
put the bleeps for.
we can't cuss on
You
YouTube.
can't cuss
Well,
on
no, on-
YouTube?
I don't know. It's just an old habit. When we were on that other
Cuss word anymore? I feel like it's evolved.
I don't know.
think
I
you
mean-
can say it on cable.
on FX, apparently they were showing
you can
nudity
do a lot of
on
things.
FX.
South Park
Should
shows. South Park says it on Comedy Central every week.
Yeah, I think on cable now it's
I
just
think they
gotten
just
way
bleep.
lax.
They just bleep the F word.
You can say not.
Oh.
So
That'll get
yeah, there'll be,
Hey,
That'll be a
Mom.
no,
bleep.
there'll be. You can say not. Boop, burp. Like I'm giving
My-
myself the sign to make the edit.
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about this, but you can tell what they're saying when it's bleep.
Yeah.
That's the thing with bleeps.
That's where you put the little like thing
Yeah.
over the face, the exclamation point.
Y'all need to do that of y'all three where you bleep out the stuff that really isn't bad and it makes it sound like that is so funny to me.
Yeah.
We've done that in some of my webisodes. It's
That's
just
right.
Making
Isn't there a-
people that you don't really cuss, making
Yeah,
them cuss is so
sound like
funny.
they're cussing.
Like,
It's actually
what
what's
were you
happening right
saying?
now on the podcast. Like the
We're
people that are
just
watching are
beep.
just saying beep beep beep.
It's
beep,
like that
beep,
race car
Yeah.
ride later on. I hope I have a sensor in there.
Are
'cause
there going to be cameras there?
I don't. It's going to be
I
hilarious.
think
if
they're gonna
there
have an
is.
in-car camera. I hope we're
I'm
gonna.
gonna be
I hope
laughing.
we're gonna have
so hard.
radio.
Yeah, I hope
communication.
that's what I hope you guys have
I'm
radio.
gonna be cussing him. It's gonna be great. Can't wait.
The thing is, though, I think the more you cuss, the faster he's going to go.
I know,
So maybe you
I'm
should
not
just
gonna
play
say
it cool and be
anything.
like, "This is nice.
just
this
be like,
is really nice."
this ain't nothing.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm gonna run the track bar up about 5 inches. Make sure.
Who was it?
Loose.
Like last year, 2 years ago, Dale Jr. gave a ride to. It was a football player, and they were like losing their mind.
Oh, I know. I remember the video. I can't think of
Probably
who it is, though.
considerably bigger than me too, so that'd be great.
I think he gave a ride to Barkley, didn't he? At some
Charles
point.
Barkley?
Yeah.
He is
Oh my
Sure, at
god.
some
ginormous
point, yeah.
human.
I don't know how they
That
got
would
in
have
a
been
race car,
funny.
but I think he did. Well, I think some of them cars, like the top half of the door, is on a hinge for larger
Oh, so
people,
they
so
can
they can get
crawl
in
in.
easier.
Well,
But yeah, I think he drove Charles Barkley around. That was a lot of right front
Crawling
weight.
in and out of the car is not easy, even if you're petite.
And we will have in-car camera for this. I believe
it.
there will be some stuff
Oh.
probably on NASCAR.com at a later date, and
oh my
various
god.
other entities. But we'll have more on that after this break from one of our sponsors.
This podcast is brought to you by Blaney's Balloons. Do you need to spice up your gift-giving arsenal this St. Patrick's Day? Tired of giving that same old "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" button or that worn-out, cheerful leprechaun yard decoration? This year, give that special Arun shark in your life something that will really knock them off their feet. Give them one of Blaney's Balloons. They will be shouting, "Faith and Bagara." Blaney's Balloons offer a wide variety of flavor selection, each with subtle notes, ripe character, and a distinct aftertaste. Each balloon is carefully handcrafted by one of our highly trained flatulists, who will tailor your digestive dirigible to suit your specific needs. Be sure to visit www.blaneysballoons.com and enter the promo code FART to receive 20% off your first purchase. With Blaney's Balloons, you can turn St. Patrick's Day into St. Patrick's Day.
And we're back after that lovely VO read from Ryan Blaney.
Enter in the next 30 minutes, and you will get 40% off.
What's the website again?
The website is www.blaneysballoons.com.
You should actually try it.
Yeah,
It's a good website.
I'd suggest go trying to go there. Click on check them out, see what happens.
You could buy some if you want.
Yeah,
Party pack.
party pack. It'll help you out. Also, if you like that read, come on, sponsor us. We're open.
Obviously.
Yeah, we'll sell balloons.
Blaney's Balloons hasn't done
And really taken off like
very
you thought it would.
well in the in the money region
Really?
that I was hoping.
But St. Patrick's Day, it's coming up. That's going to be like
Are they
the
all
big.
green blues? Just different shades of green?
Sure,
Yeah.
we can
50
make
shades
that
of
happen.
green.
Different
Great.
shades of green, yeah.
50
Light
shades
green.
of farts
50
50 shades of farts.
as I'm drinking from a green
Yeah.
tumbler.
That's actually just pure fart.
Yeah, it's pure methane fart.
and
Green
Yeti.
beer.
Mhm.
I've never got the green beer.
I don't.
Uh-uh.
It's so weird.
It's just food
Yeah.
coloring, right?
Yeah, but
But it's still gross. Like I don't want dye in my beer.
I
Do you need any balloons at your show in Asheville? Because we know a guy.
hey, I mean, I could
just make
I
sure
could use a
you-
couple on stage. you
Make
know?
sure you release them after the
Yeah.
concert.
So we did our final live show last year in Vegas for the banquet.
Yeah.
And it was the first time we did a live show, and we were on this big stage in this big auditorium, and we had a bunch of fans there. And we let in the rafters there were balloons, and we made the mistake of, and these balloons were that big. We made the mistake of letting them down when we walked onto stage. So then everyone was like just ADD hitting
like,
balloons, the whole
Punting the
time.
balloons
And then
Oh,
we had a bunch of drivers on stage, and they just kept throwing the balloons at
at
like
the drivers.
Kyle Busch and like Hamlin. It was funny.
Mm,
So yeah, if you're gonna use balloons, do it on your
Do it
exit.
after.
yeah, I've had some beach balls and
Yeah.
stuff hit me in the face during mid song. It's great.
I think confetti would be better, and you could do that at the beginning,
Oh,
because then it'd be cool.
confetti.
Everyone's just throwing confetti.
Yeah, and you
Might be
can't like.
better.
It's hard to actually hold
Yeah.
confetti.
I think we could do that. We're learning.
Yeah.
Maybe if we make it to that point,
Again, get another one. Or
maybe another one. That'd be cool.
Yeah, like Victory Lane confetti, the big confetti. For some reason, I was thinking like glitter confetti. Glitter is the devil's
it's
tool.
the herpes of the craft world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Then you get.
It is. It's terrible. It's so hard to get rid
Yeah.
of.
Well, then you just ruin everyone's hair. All the girls would be mad in the audience if you have glitter falling from the. It would be beautiful.
It's a glitter
to watch
bomb.
it. It's a glitter bomb. We should have just
That's a real
little
thing.
balls
I know
of
it is.
glitter, and you throw at people.
That's what you should do like after a
Explodes.
race if you get mad at somebody. You just have glitter bombs
balls.
like tucked in your fire suit, and like you get into it with, I don't know, Truex or something at the end, and you go and people think you're gonna fight. Like you walk over there and you just
Glitter bomb
Yeah.
right in the
glitter
face.
in his face.
I feel like that would
Right.
diffuse any situation.
Well, because they'd be confused. They'd be
Yeah.
like, what the hell just
Yeah.
happened?
They would
I-
also be really
they can't
angry.
be mad with
Yeah.
glitter all over your face.
Yeah.
I mean, then that looks
Like, you
really
gotta
stupid.
laugh.
You can't look tough.
Yeah, then they just have to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
then
get
it-
glitter balled.
Yeah, but then it keeps going because they get home and they realize they can't. It's so hard
Yeah.
to wash out here, and then they're pissed once they
Exactly.
are gone.
So yeah, they're all sweaty, so the glitter is just gonna
Stick.
It's foolproof plan. We should do it.
we should do it.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm waiting to see this happen. I'm going to
That'd be
hold you
great.
to it
I think like
I'm gonna do that to you today in turn 3.
while driving.
right in the face. Won't be able to see nothing.
You could like Mario Kart it, like while you're going around the track, just start throwing glitter bombs out the window. Debris in turn 4.
You need the precaution, man. They'll be like, Tower, I got some glitter.
Some glitter.
Some what?
Seems like there was a party out here in turn 3.
Glittering and.
Oh,
Point
this
Cole.
is taking a turn
We need to keep
for the better.
Yeah.
we need to keep a whiteboard up here with zingers for our guests.
Y'all are,
And you're leading that category.
no,
right now.
y'all are
First
y'all
guest of the
hilarious.
season,
Glittering
later on the
Ant.
board.
Glittering Ant.
Glittering Ant.
The snozzberries taste like snow.
Speaking of guests,
Yes.
talked about it earlier, the fans with the Twitter handles and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was that fan poll.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Who should we
And
have?
Who should we have?
next?
We mentioned it last week, and then they said, "Oh, Chuck mentioned our poll. We should do it again."
Yeah.
And they did.
Mhm.
They had, let me pull it up right here. So keep talking, keep vamping, keep doing stuff. You guys.
Chuck's slow at the
I'm just
computer is what
slow.
he's trying to tell us.
Yep.
So you bring up a topic.
Uh-huh.
And you
I
don't
wasn't
have it
And
ready.
you're
ready.
not ready.
Look,
No.
I'm
I've
ready.
been
I know
co-
who I'm ready to hear. So go ahead. You got
Okay.
it.
Yeah. No, you like last week I was bad on the transitions. Today I've been decent, but bad on pulling up
Because you have
things.
so many
that-
folders on
I
your
know.
Yeah,
computer.
way too
You have
many
folders within folders
I've
within
got
folders.
folders on folders on folders.
You got to
on
make
folders.
group. Like in your phone, do you just
Yeah.
have pages and pages of apps, or do you make folders?
I make folders, but I make different folders for different.
So do I.
things.
Like I have
Yeah.
game folders. I have like
I have socialism
porn folders.
got a folder full of porn.
Does
So
that
yeah,
mean
no.
You're tickling.
At GCOE fans,
Yeah.
said so. Chuck Bush brought up on our poll last week and on this week's episode. So let's try it again. Who would you like as a guest for the podcast? Daryl Bubba Wallace,
Mhm.
Dave Blaney, Penske teammate, the 222 or 21, or Katie Nolan, hashtag Giggity.
Giggity. I saw that. Yeah. Katie almost won. My dad won.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. 57 votes.
I saw him vote
54
Dave
votes total.
Blaney.
I think Dave would
Dave
be
should be on
would
it.
be fun. We're gonna try to get him on when we get back from the West Coast. I got to talk to him about it, see what he's open to, if he'll be willing to come on. But I think he'll be a good time. That might have to be a nighttime show
Yeah.
when he's had a couple, so he opens up
I
a little
need to
bit.
meet your dad. I've never met your dad.
Is he
before
coming
that.
to any
we're
of the West
watching him
Coast
now.
races? Is he coming? Or out
He was
west?
he's been in all three of the races so far. I don't think he's coming to Phoenix. He might be coming to
I
California. I'm
got
not
so
really sure.
mad. There was some fan on Twitter that was like, Dave Blaney never comes to Ryan's races. And I almost said something. I was like, I see him all the effing time.
Yeah, I saw that guy actually apologized.
Oh, he did?
But yeah, I was like, my dad comes to like 75%
Yeah.
of the races.
I'm
dude.
like, I literally
Like,
see him all the
Just because
time.
he's not on camera. He's not
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball or
Oh, the
LeVar.
worst.
LaBelle.
Thank
Lamar.
God.
What's the dad? LeVar is the dad.
To wash balls.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about
Yeah. He likes to stay behind the scenes, but we'll have him on. I haven't gotten with his people yet, but
Your
I
mom?
gotta my mother. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like-
yeah. She's got to say yes. She got to allow him to come on the show, but I think he'd do it.
I thought you said he's a lot like LeVar Ball. He stays behind the scenes. Is what I thought you said. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
The
don't
worst.
get me started.
Nah, I know.
But what? Oh, I saw something today. I was reading this article about. I was actually curious. The alternative if you're allergic to cat, but still want the cat.
Mm.
Yeah.
What's the alternative?
So it's a pillow that's like fluffy like a cat, but they researched how cattails move and they added a tail to the pillow. So the tail moves like a cat. So you pet it, and depending how you
Wow.
Is this a tickling thing that was part of
depending on
it?
how you pet the kitty, the tail moves different ways. So
Yeah.
it's like an alternative if you're allergic to cats, which I think is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I think if you're allergic to cats, then don't get a cat. I don't think you should get a cat anyway.
I think cats are
They're weird.
dumb.
You like
and
cats?
weird.
I don't have.
You're not a
no.
cat person, thank God.
I'm good.
I know. I've been to your.
I don't even
place.
have a cat pillow.
That's good.
I know.
That's good. I'm surprised.
Buddy,
Yeah.
buddy,
Thanks. Yeah.
The
buddy of mine
pillow-
had a cat in college that was the devil.
Mm.
Like I had a bottle of tequila sitting on the center of the table in the living room,
Swiped it off.
and the cat went out and like just pushed it right off the table, and it was like a handle.
And
Like-
oh,
Yeah,
it's the worst.
yeah. It was Jose. It
You
was
know-
good.
You know what would be
Yeah.
fun to do with this
Sitting-
pillow, though?
Gold.
Is put it in front of like a dog to see what a dog did with a
Kill the pillow.
fake cat pillow.
A dog
I've
would
seen
probably
what-
tear it up.
Yeah, like
I think
that's
that would
what
be
dogs do with
amazing.
dog toys.
I think we'd probably just start humping it.
Perhaps.
Every dog does that, but another
cats?
thing,
Like everybody that has one.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's 2 for
Two
Cole.
for Cole.
Anyway, all right, I'm
Going
out.
on the board.
I'm done.
Chalk another one up there. For
I'm done.
Cole. No, you got to keep going. You got to regain your title.
Yeah.
Something else that has a lot with electronic objects that brought this up to my attention. You can be a certified for $48,000 a year, a certified sex doll tester.
Like they pay you $48,000 to do that?
They pay
or
you.
you pay to.
No, they pay you.
Like running diagnostic tests. Like you got a computer out and like
No.
you're hooking up the car to the
No.
computer. No.
No,
Okay.
driving.
Hands on.
Hands on. Yeah.
Is this in the
Hands-on.
United States or like in the UK?
I don't know. I don't think it's in the United States. I think it's
Probably not.
in Europe somewhere.
Was this in the folder on your phone?
No, this is on Twitter.
Okay.
This is on Twitter. Yeah. I was wondering, would you quit your job? Well, I don't know. I think we all have pretty good jobs.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
think it's like-
I wonder if this is like a part-time gig or it's like a full-time gig.
Yeah.
You can
What does
moonlight as a.
this doll look like? I don't.
I mean, I think they make some pretty realistic looking dolls nowadays. I don't know.
You get
So
to pick
weird.
which doll, or you just have to test
They're
them
just
all.
like, hey, here's the
You go to meet them.
Here's this week's batch.
here's the,
the Bachelor.
like here's the
Three.
that's the new
Free
That's
Bachelor.
That would be
That
awesome,
was so good.
dude.
There's
Like-
be some awkward sit down interviews in that Bachelor.
There's got to be some safety precautions. Like here's the new prototype. Here's the
Be careful.
Safety
Is
precautions.
We haven't worked out the kinks on this one yet.
like if
The
the last guy it ripped his just ripped the clean off.
So, is this like a singular position, or there's like a panel of dudes that
You
each
can
have
get a
this
team.
job? Because everybody has different interests.
We call this
So,
one Lorraine.
No, I think just. I mean, I'm sure they have multiple people because there's the I think there's so many being pumped out. You just can't rely on one dude. So I'm sure you have a little bit more, but are you
A
getting
lot
texts
of,
over there?
of pressure on that guy.
From the producer in the booth, I got just a text that says Chinese finger trap.
Yeah, I mean, like here's the yeah, I mean here's the let me have it 5,000 and test her out. Anyways, I thought that was
benefits
pretty
come with that?
dental. You get dental. I hope
Oral exam.
so.
I think I'm gonna stick with my job.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
So, this is only open to males, or females can apply too?
I don't think they make like female, like that legit of a doll like that.
But females might enjoy a female version of the doll.
Well, I'm sure anybody. I don't know. Kim, apply and see if they let you do it.
They are an equal opportunity employer.
I bet.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
give you a
Just saying.
job if
Yeah.
you want one.
Yeah.
You know, you do pit reporting, you do this show. You can on the side be yourself, tester outer.
You can report while you like give a play-by-play.
Ooh.
I don't know.
That one got it. It's an awkward, the awkward turtle right there.
So weird.
Anyways,
So, other topics.
Yeah.
They announced the new Hall of Fame class nominations back to
Moving
2019.
yeah. I saw that.
I forgot Gordon was already eligible. What is the eligibility again?
3 years.
How many
isn't
years?
it?
3? I thought it was 5 for some reason.
I thought it was 5. I think they
changed it for
yeah.
Gordon.
Yeah, so you got Gordon in
Probably.
it. You got John Holman, Ralph Moody, Kirk Shelmerdine, Harry Gant as the new ones.
On the
Those
for
are
the
the
first
yeah,
time. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
still have the repeat.
So there's 20 altogether, right? That can get in there. So
They want pick 5, and over the next 3 years, you're going to have Tony Stewart eligible next year, and then the following year, you're going to have Kenseth and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
which
Assuming Kenseth doesn't come back.
Fair. Say he stays
come back.
retired,
He
but
can come back.
yeah.
Do you? Okay, so let's say
Wouldn't that mean Carl Edwards is eligible too?
this year or
No.
next year?
Next year. No.
he would-
How many?
You would be Tony's year, right?
Yeah. I think
he'd
so.
be eligible next year.
People have just forgotten.
Carl
He's
would.
fallen off the face of the earth.
Never forget about Carl.
Cousin Carl.
Cousin Carl. Great
So
guy.
What is he doing
would,
right now?
Would you? I have no idea.
Farming soy, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know.
Would you put Gordon in the Hall of Fame this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot.
100%.
Easy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tony Stewart, first
Yeah.
ballot Hall of Famer?
We've
Yeah.
gone over the first ballot.
Okay. Now, but here is big question. Between Kenseth and Junior,
Oh,
who would you put in first?
that's
tough.
Because Kenseth does have a cup championship.
He's got a championship and
Junior's junior.
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 Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who you put in first. I don't know. I think they've both done a great job in NASCAR and been a big influence in it. But I don't know. I just think Dale being who he is and what he's done, you got to put him in. It wouldn't surprise me if they went in. together, in
Yeah.
the same year.
I
But
know there's still so many people that are still on the list that haven't gotten in yet that I think could.
I think Harry Gant gets in this year.
Out of the ones that have just been released, I think Gordon and Gant get in
Yeah.
this year, and then I
Yeah.
think it's people from that were already on the list,
Yeah.
like Roger.
I hope RP gets in.
I think Roger gets in.
You got
finally.
Gibbs on there. You got Jack Roush.
Yeah.
I don't think
Wow.
you'll have more than. You might have 2 owners. You wouldn't. They wouldn't put more than 2 owners.
Hill's gonna be glad we talked about Harry Gant. We're
Handsome
big
Harry?
fans, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. September.
Skull 33.
I got a great Harry Gant shirt.
Yeah.
I should have wore it today.
See,
If he gets in the Hall of Fame, I'll wear it.
there you go.
For
Yeah.
for
When
honoring.
remind everybody when they announce the next class.
It'll be in May, right?
Okay. Yeah, it's somewhere in May.
It's right around All-Star Weekend, the
Mhm.
600 weekend. They'll announce that class, and then they get inducted
Mhm.
in January. So
And speaking of May and Charlotte races, Cole is playing after the All-Star race.
Are you on?
That'd be cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what we're doing some media stuff later today at the track. That's where I was seeing if Blaney was in town, so it worked out perfect. But
How badass would it be
Just-
if Blaney ends up winning? Ryan
And
wins
that's
the
what
race,
I want, yeah.
and then that's when you bring him up on stage to
Oh,
sing.
let's just make that deal. Like you have
That's
to
a-
come up there if you
that's
win.
fair.
That's fair.
That's a bet.
I mean,
Fair.
because who
Fair
cares?
bet.
I mean, you're gonna be. I'll make sure you have fun, and it'll
Okay.
be.
Fair bet.
That's
If
a good-
Ryan
That's a
wins,
deal.
I'm just excited.
The
to
All-Star
be-
race.
I've never been to an All-Star, so the fact that you're a part of it, and it's
the
just,
All-Star
it's
is
gonna
one of
be-
the best races.
That's
just
what
'cause it's
I've
like-
heard, and I'm excited to. Like I said, I'm just a big NASCAR fan, and any race I can get to, but to actually get to play at too.
Yeah,
so.
that's a big deal.
that'd be
That's
awesome.
what was
really
the
cool.
first race you ever went to?
I think it was here in Charlotte. It was I was telling Ryan about it. It was I don't even remember what year it was, but I remember Eric Church played in the parking lot. I mean, it was like in probably 08 or 09. I mean, it was several years
Picturing
back. but-
Eric Church playing in a parking
And
lot.
that was
pretty
like
funny.
yeah, it was that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've been a huge fan of his since his first album. But
Yeah, he's
it was a cool that I've been to Talladega last year, which was my first time getting to hang and go to the Boulevard and all that.
Yeah.
So
I took him on the Boulevard Saturday night for the first time.
I
We
think-
walked up and down it.
Was that
was
the
I think they had some
fall race or the spring race?
It was a fall race.
So that was one when you met the guy on.
Oh yeah,
the
I was
fan?
with you. Like gave you his shirt or something
yeah,
in
Gave
the
me
thing. Yeah.
Davey Allison.
Oh,
He sent me
yeah.
a message last week. He just completed his PhD. I think
yeah.
he sent in his dissertation and defended it. So I think he is now officially
Nice.
a PhD.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Doctor.
Yeah, that was good. I don't
Yeah.
think he remembers much of that night when he gave me a sweatshirt, but it was nice to meet him. And
Yeah.
yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going here to get my PhD." So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
finally got it.
Yeah.
So, but no, should be
Big
great.
fans doing big things.
That's right.
Doing big things. Big
Out
things.
of a cool sweatshirt, but got a PhD.
Hey, got it. Cool. You know,
That
I might
thing
give it
was
back
sweet.
to him.
That
if I
thing's
see him
sweet.
again. Yeah, that's awesome. I should have wore it. I should wear all this stuff.
Just wear it on the show
Should wear everything.
Yeah, you should wear it.
I should have
at
wardrobe
the same
changes.
time.
I should every 5 minutes I should just change clothes and then we'll cut
Our
back
ratings
to
would probably
video,
go up.
and
Yeah.
it was like, why is this a different episode? Did they
The
just
continuity on
Or
this
you
is
can
way
just
off.
wear them consecutively on layers and just take them
off? Yeah.
That'd be good.
Like
That'd be
that
really
quick
good.
change show that they have in a lot of like at halftime at NBA shows. They do the quick change.
Oh yeah.
It's like the dancing, and they go from
Oh,
ball
and then
gowns
that
into
hula hoop
yeah.
thing.
It's like whew.
That's crazy how they
I'm
do
wearing
that.
a tux
Do you
now.
know that the halftime shows? I found this out. I was at a Hornets game over the off season, and we were curious about the halftime. It was like in a hula hoop thing. They do like a tour, so they basically go and do like the East Coast. So they'll do all of the different hockey and NBA. So they tour. So it's not just like a one-off guy. Like, oh, the Charlotte Hornets hired this local guy to like. They tour.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty.
I
neat.
had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
Like the unicyclists. They
Yeah.
tour.
Like,
Oh,
so the
tour.
unicyclist
Yeah.
that does like the Hornets
Just like
game.
we do.
Yeah.
On the road.
You might see
We're
him at
on
like
the
the
road.
Sixers game.
BMX bike. Oh, dude, the Sixers.
Oh my God, their
were in-
Was
jerseys.
that last night?
That was last night, and
See, I wanted to go, but I couldn't get here in time. I've never
Yeah.
been to a Hornets game.
holy,
What happened?
they pissed me. So the Sixers won.
You're angry.
Right? I am very angry.
Yeah.
Very angry.
Joel.
All right.
Joel pissed
no,
you off?
No,
What?
Joel didn't like the Sixers. Great, that's a good team. They've
Their
sucked for a
uniforms,
long
though,
time.
can
They-
we just take a side note? The uniforms that just say Phila
Yeah.
Yeah.
are terrible.
Yeah.
You like them?
I don't.
I think they're the white ones that just say Phila. That's all they say.
Flip.
They're not.
flip,
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
But like the Sixers, I'm not mad at the team. I like the team. Joel Embiid's good. Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
they got some good talent, except for JJ Redick. Although he was chirping back to a
What
fan.
do you have wrong
JJ's
with
awesome.
JJ's awesome?
He went to Duke. I'm a Carolina fan. It's a whole thing.
Oh,
Anyway,
deep-seated hate.
Anyway, after the game
He
and
played for the
during the game,
Magic.
all of the Philly fans are doing the Eagles chant.
Yeah, how was that Duke Carolina game?
Yeah, it's back to it's 51-51 now. It's like one of the best rivalries in all of sports.
They were doing the Philadelphia.
They were doing the Eagles chant.
Really?
And then after the game, they're
What's wrong with that?
It's a Sixers game.
Yes, Eagles.
Yeah, like I get it. You won the Super Bowl, but you're at a basketball game.
They have a lot of pride for their hometown sports.
I get that. Like cheer for the Sixers. Like Joel. Like I'm cool with that. But when you're chanting Eagles and singing "Fly Eagles Fly," it's like, come on, like get the right sporting event.
Well, that didn't.
Like, what if I came to a NASCAR race and just started yelling at you, LeBron sucks?
Your opinion. Entitled to your opinion. I'm like, that's cool.
This reminds me of the problem I have with golf. Speaking of yelling. So, like a month or two ago, somebody yelled during Tiger's backswing. And I know it's a gentleman's game, but I have a big problem that golfers can't handle people yelling on the green when all other sports are just berated with, like, you suck, LeBron. Like, just people yelling.
Yeah, that is different.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing. If you can't shoot on a golf course with somebody yelling, you shouldn't be a professional golfer.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I love playing golf, but I've seen a lot of golfers kind of come out and say stuff that are just getting pretty rowdy and all that. So I don't know. I've heard that tournament though in Phoenix is crazy. That one
where it's like all the people around.
I mean, people streaking across the fairways. It's like getting.
It's on my bucket list to go to.
Yeah, I really wish I could have went this year because I've never been to that one, but it looks like it would be fun. So
yeah, I'm sure it's just getting more and more. I mean, fans get more rowdy, but
heading to Phoenix this week.
Heading to Phoenix. Hey, maybe I'll go.
Yeah,
head to Phoenix.
I was just trying to set you up for
the exit.
Yeah, so we could like that is a perfect setup for a rap.
Hey, we're going to Phoenix this week.
Yeah, because the music is now playing again.
It's playing again right now
in your ears. You're hearing it.
Oh.
So it's not going to be added in post because that's not what I do at all. Yeah,
I forget about that. Second show. But Cole, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, big fan pulling through this year. So thank y'all as well for letting me hang. I'll be listening in throughout the year. I'm fine. I got a couple points, but I'm about to lose them in this car.
We'll find out. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Don't lose your lunch.
All right, we'll see you next week.